Let's see. Bukakta. Literally bird many. Chat, now that I've laid out the agenda, maybe something like yo. And if you are really, really, really hardcore, then you could make a case, and I think it was done in like the 30s, that H and in English are the same. Yeah, cool stuff. YouTube. Welcome back. It's really good to have you here because we are doing what we do best. We are working on our language family. Which one? It's the analytic language family, which now has a name. Thanks to you, the community, who has voted on our little poll in the community tab, we have a name for this family, and it is the Sakrat family, the family of the sailors. So thank you all for voting in that, and I think we should get started on developing some grammar. I don't know. Let's go. Let's do it. And there we go. All right. Oh, it's so good to see everyone here today. It's always a pleasure. It makes me look forward to Tuesday afternoon so much, which, doesn't have this sort of classic status of that part of the week that everyone looks forward to. But for me, thanks to you, it is. It's also a Moody Blues song, right? Tuesday afternoon. I'm not going to sing it, don't worry. So we have let's take stock of what we have for Proto-Sakrat now. We have a little lexicon here on the right, which is actually not that little, just over 100 entries in it. We have a few meanings that lack forms and a few forms that lack meanings, but we'll sort that out at some point. And we have a few texts. So one of the texts we have is the North Wind and the Sun tale, which goes from here to here, which we call Panatutan Mare. And it's a lovely little story, which I think we will work with a bit today. We also have a variety of proverbs. Don't judge a fruit by its peel. Make sure you have enough coconuts. A lot of good life advice in there. And then last time we worked on making a few names. And so this was a good deal of fun. We've come up with great names, some favorites of mine. Duan Tarun, one who holds the fruit. Could be a good thing, I don't know. We also have things like Daraskal, the Bay of Souls, Silbaur, the Beach of Arrows. Like this is, I don't know. These are good. These are good. I think we're going in the right direction. So what I would like to do is take a look at some grammatical issues or some grammatical opportunities in the texts, because I would like, and I sort of thought about this last week when we were doing this, now that we have situations where we have these names, and we have a name like, I don't know, let's see, what would be a good one? Yes, so Pukaktap. Bird, literally if we glossed it, it's bird many. And because this is an SVO language, we don't know if this means many birds, and Pukak is specifically the sort of chicken type of bird. So is it many chickens, or is it the chickens are many? There are many chickens. Similarly, we have Pukak Naran. We don't know if it's the good bird or so the good birds or the good chickens, or the chickens are good. Singular and plural we're not marking yet, at least. And so I think we need a way of disambiguating this. Okay, so I'm going to catch up on the chat now that I've laid out the agenda. So I don't know. How are we going to disambiguate this? We could do either, we could have some sort of article-like thing, or we could have some kind of a copula or predicate marker. Those would be two ways I think we could do it, or we could do both. I'm going to catch up a little bit on the chat because I see lots of good stuff coming in. All right. Yeah, I think Quayne, we're going to have to make this into a music channel. We're going to have to, the Wellerman. I haven't heard that name in years. 1.25 years, to be precise. We did say 0. We said optional copula at least. Let's see. I think we have something in here about that. We have, yeah, we have this copula in parentheses here. So we don't actually have anything for a copula, I don't think. No. Okay. No copula. And we need one. So what would we do? What would we do to make a copula here? We could just come up with a nice light form. A nice light form, like where is our phonology? We come up with a nice light form like he or something that could work as a copula or a predicate marker. Specifically, so it doesn't have to just go in front of nominal predicates. It could go in front of all predicates optionally when we want to disambiguate. Hey is the copula in Hakka. Well, okay, great. We're walking in good shoes then. I don't know. Hey just occurred to me. Maybe I've got some subconscious influence. Okay, so let's see what it looks like when we put hey in. Now the question is, if it's optional, what is going to govern the conditions when it's used or not used? Because I think it does make sense to have it be optional. Just because it feels a bit heavy. I'm using this sort of super scientific vocabulary here. It feels just a bit heavy to have it everywhere. But let's see. Let's take one of these. Let's take one of these. Okay, so this is these sentences here. Let's write it out down here. So we have ahung isunque nok temen. So the one, we can say relative, have power, exceed all, and then temen, what was that? Which one? Okay. So which one is the most powerful? Would be the literal translation. So if we wanted to put this in, we would say something like ahung isunque nok he temen. Or rather, yeah, that's right. Let's zoom in a little. Good point. Let's zoom in a little. Sorry, I don't know why it keeps resetting my zoom every time. How's that? Okay. Henga, welcome. Welcome to the stream. The scream. It's not a scream. Well, it might be a scream. You never know. We might get there. I just read it out. Okay, so let's continue. So if we use hey here, I'm happy with that. We could also do something like have a like some sort of an article for a proper noun, which we could use in this story a lot because we have the north wind and the sun. And so if we would have a sort of a proper noun article, which you get in some Polynesian languages. Why are you the wrong color? Why would you do this to me? Okay, there we go. So, north, wind, and sun. Past dispute. Okay, so if we wanted to have a, and let's just get the full translation, the north wind and the sun were disputing. So if we want to give ourselves some proper action, let's get another nice light syllable. Something that we won't get tired of repeating over and over again. Maybe something like u, yo. Ah, neku. I like it. Yo. I don't know if that was a suggestion or is that you just saying hi, but why not? So we could have our proper name, our proper name article be yo panatutan mayore lakiris. Yeah. And this, I think, I don't know. I like this. Let's sit with it for a while and see how we end up feeling. All right. I also think we need some aspectual markers. I don't know. This is kind of like just grammar grab bag here. So what can we do? We could have some sort of, I don't know, some kind of continuative, imperfective thingy, something in that realm. And let's use some grammaticalization to get that going. So what if we consult our references, which I will do off screen, we can get this kind of continuous aspect marking from a lot of sources. So the verb to come, to go, to lie, to sit, to stand, to live, lots and lots of options. So if we want to replace this or add to this this sentence here, something like, just call it continuous, have something here. We could use any of these verbs that we already have. So what do we have? What are our options? Do we have something for to come? No, we do not. So let's just leave that for now. To do, we do have to do, right? Sera. Okay, so we could do something like la sera kiris. They were disputing. We could do something like, I don't know, what else do we have on this list? Do we have, we don't have sit, do we? No. Do we have stand? No. Do we have go? Ah, yes, we do. We have this go to. So sra or sre. Yeah. I think we could use sra as our spectral marker there. So yo panatutan mayore las rakiris. Yeah, if we had a sit, I mean, we can always make it up. Let's give ourselves a sit. And what could it be? Where's our phonology? Come back, phonology. There we go. Okay, what could we have for to sit? Keeping in mind that it's a potential candidate for this continuative aspect. So, open to suggestions from the chat. Here's our syllable structure, and remember this is the sesquisyllabic language, so minor syllable, major syllable, and the minor is optional. And obviously, you know, all of these consonants are optional, and this whole thing is optional. Wong. Oh, I like that. let's see how that feels. And whenever people come up with things, it's wonderful because if we get more than one, we can just use it for other roots. So it's fantastic. So we have wong, bitah, mol. Perfect. Okay, so let's audition them, shall we? Yopana tutan mayore la wong kiris. Yopana tutan mayore la bitah kiris. Yopana tutan mayore la sra kiris. Yeah, we have that one too. And Yopana tutan mayore la mol kiris. I am leaning towards using... I kind of like this wong. I don't know why. It just sort of tickles my fancy. So this is to sit and the continuative aspect. Lovely. Thank you for all the suggestions here. Okay. Krang. Sorry if I've missed yours. Sometimes the chat goes by quickly. All right. Yeah. So here we go. Yopanatutan mayore la wonkiris. Okay, I think we have a new first line of the story. Yopanatutan mayore la wonkiris. Kiris beda ahungisunque noctemen. And here, hey. Kiris beda ahungisunque noctemen. Drurusad da apidru puintuar nglestra aroban tron agirak. And so the question that I'm still not clear on, and I'm wondering how to approach this, is how are we going to, if this is going to be an optional copula, how are we going to sort of control when it appears and when it doesn't? Yeah, that's not something I'm totally sure how to handle yet. I like the idea of it, and I like it better than putting hey in front in every single sentence. Maybe it only occurs when you don't have, I don't know, when you don't have any sort of tense or aspect morphology. Maybe something like that. It's sort of like a morpheme of last resort, saying, hey, by the way, I'm a predicate, in case you didn't already know. Yes, this is a head initial language. I think we haven't deviated from that overly. Are you, oh, maybe you're asking because of the position of yo, this proper article. Yeah, that's a good question. So would we then want to put it way at the end, given that's sort of where in the sort of inside the noun phrase, things like demonstratives show up in these languages sometimes. Although I think that there are definitely counterexamples to that. I think there are examples where you have something more article-like on the left and then all the other noun phrase bits on the right. Although I would have to consult some notes to know for sure. Okay, let's take a look at. Yeah, let's go through and sort of do another pass through this story, and then we'll wrap up this segment and we'll move on to some sound changes, I think. Yeah, exactly. It is head initial. The head is the D. So the head is the determiner. Oh yeah, I should probably spell that out. The head is the determiner. The head of the phrase in some where is it? Yore. So in some theories, noun phrases are not really noun phrases. Well, there are noun phrases, but above them there's an additional layer of the determiner phrase. And things like articles are the head of that. And so, technically, having the article in front would make it head initial still. Oh, yeah, thank you. It should be wind north. Good point. Now are we going to handle this? Oh, that's a funny story. So if you look at English phonology, I don't know if anyone's, stop me if you've heard this one. If you look at English phonology, I'm going to go story time. If you look at English phonology and you try and map out what the phonological inventory of English is, and you're using a strictly looking at complementary distribution, you will notice that H and the velar nasal appear in exactly the opposite environments. So H, syllable initially, the velar nasal, syllable finally. And if you are really, really, really hardcore about this way of defining phonemes, then you could make a case, and I think it was done in like the 30s, that H and in English are the same phoneme. You just get h syllable initially and ng syllable finally, or yeah, there are some asterisks about that, but that's generally it. Yeah, so that's a little story. I don't know. I don't think anyone so this comes up because when you're teaching intro phonology, you're teaching the method of coming up with a phonological inventory, and you use this technique of complementary distribution. So you find if one potential allophone, if something that you're trying to find out if two things are allophones of the same phoneme, if they show up in exactly the opposite environments, then that's good evidence usually that they are allophones of the same phoneme. But they usually have to put in a little asterisk and say there should be some sort of like similarity between the two sounds. You shouldn't just take things that happen to only survive in one position and other things that happen to only survive in the exact complement of those positions and call them allophones of the same phoneme. Yeah, cool stuff. All right, sorry. Yep, back to the matter at hand. Okay, so what else do we have to do? I think we have to. I'm going to kind of use the force. I'm going to just go instinctively and put in hey where I think it should go, and then maybe we can come up with some generalization about what factors are conditioning whether it shows up or not. So drurusad da apidru puituar nglestra aroban tron agirak. So I kind of want that he in here. And okay, then we have panat. Oh, and then we also have to put in our article here. Proper noun. Yo panatutan pidru nom ngisun hok huhu. Huhuque hungisun arobanque nom patek talernis. But the keener his blast, the closer the traveler wrapped his cloak around them. This is given I don't know, this seems like a proper noun. No, it's not. But for the purposes of our story, we can call him traveler. So instead of aroban, we would have yo aroban. So he's a character. Pana bakal. And here we have it again. Yo pana. Prop. Yo pana bakal kwenok yapklat tuan girak nok. Kut re. Kut yore. Kut yore qua krapuis ramen. Okay, I feel like there should be a copula in here. And last, the wind So the wind at last gave up all hope of victory and called the sun to see what he could do. Yeah, maybe we could put it in here. Be able to, I mean, so any of these things can be their own. The problem is we have a language here that doesn't really recognize distinctions in word class. So we're relying on other stuff to give us that information. And what I'm worried about is the parsing issue, where you're going through and you have no marking for word class on any of these content words. So something could be a noun, it could be an adjective, it could be an adverb, it could be a verb, depending on the situation. And you may get into situations where you have ambiguous, a lot of ambiguity. And in that case, it would be nice, I think, to have some kind of, I'm calling it copula, but it's really hey, a predicate follows marker. And so that's why I'm thinking of putting it before this puis, to be able. I don't know. We're trying it on. All right. So what else do we have? Lloré. The sun. Nom tuarnok lanrit. See here, I think there's no opportunity to for confusion because we have this past marker la. Multical be yo aroban. Again, cursed by these auto URL things. Ugh. Not a fan. Multical be yo aroban pibrum pawure. Dru la tuar ngles. Pakal kwenok ngasir tuarpok tuar ngles lalusul besidal awisel benakri. So where is this? At last undressed. Okay, so wait, what is this? Undress is tuar ngles, I think. Remove clothes. So let's just write that. Remove clothes. La past lusul be sidal awisel be nakri. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so catching up on the chat now. Oh, Samuel, thank you so much for joining live. I'm very glad you could join us. Yeah, I think we're accumulating a decent store of clips for the intro today. Welcome. Okay, so we've done a bit of work on the grammar. I'm going to put in a cut here. I'm trying to keep the clips not hour long, so I'll put in a cup here. A cup. Okay. Just anyway. I'll put in a cut here, and we can start another segment. I think we should start to work on. We'll start to work on the sound changes, because we have been making a proto-language here. The whole point of a proto-language is for it to have, to be fruitful and multiply, and we can have all sorts of fun sound changes. So let's do that. I'll say goodbye to the YouTube people who are watching this in the future. Come back. There's all sorts of stuff going on here, much like this. So we will see you next time.